All right, guys, back again, episode 27. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Fantasy Stand. Go follow them on Instagram and sign up for future fantasy games. Tonight, we got a very special guest. This is actually our first Cruiserweight ever on the show. We got Trenton's own Mike Hilton, 11-0, 7 knockouts. Mike, thank you so much for joining, and congratulations on your big win Saturday night.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you. So what age did you start boxing at?
I started boxing at Goss and Goss. This was like around 2008, and then we got shut down. So me and my coach went and got our own gym. It's called the Ike Wins Boxing Academy. So we're out of Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh, nice. Okay. Now, I'm sure you can remember this because everyone remembers about amateurs, but this is like one of my favorite 3-part questions. So just talk about amateurs. What was your record? What were some of the achievements? And when did you know you're ready to go pro?
All right. Well, my record, I really paid much to my losses than wins. I probably had about like close to 60 fights. I know I had about 12 or 13 losses. My accomplishments, I was a 14-time New Jersey State champion, 2-time national champion. I'm the first ever heavyweight in New Jersey history to ever win any national championship. First one to win the National Golden Gloves and the National the USA Nationals. Matter of fact, actually, I won the USA Elite in 2013 when they first took the headgear off. We introduced taking the headgear off in amateurs, so I was the first one to win that one. The amateurs was pretty cool, man. I think I was ready to turn pro like around 2015 after I won the National Golden Glove. If I was I think I was probably like 28, 29 around that time. Okay. So I'm getting a little older, so it's time for me to go pro.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome answer. I mean, we've had crazy answers, whether they fought with their father, whether the trainer wanted to get like 50 fights total. But Scooter Fulton Jr. told me once they got rid of the headgear, that was when he knew that it was time to go pro.
Yeah, you know what? Well, that's crazy because we fought that same my first national championship in 2013. Me and him we fought out there that same year. Matter of fact, I think he lost in the final. Yeah, he lost in the final, so he was number 2 guy. So we was in camp together at the Olympic Training Center. We were getting ready for I think the tournament in Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
The tournament they had in Ukraine. So me and Scooter, we got real tight through the amateurs.
Was Caleb Plant with you guys, or was that a different time? Because he was like saying when he was going overseas, Caleb Plant was with him a lot training.
Yeah, Caleb Plant, he was this was I think he was pro already by then. I mean, by the time I won the national championship. Yeah, but I think I remember seeing him in like 2010, 11, 12, like when I first started boxing. That's when I seen him. Like him, Earl Spence, those type of guys, Jamel Herring and all them. Those guys like around 2011, 2012 when I first started boxing. When I first started getting on the not first started boxing, when I first started getting on the national scene.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so let's fast forward a little bit. So your pro debut was March 5th, 2016, down in Virginia. You had a magnificent knockout in the first round against Santoro Holdbrooks. But what were your nerves like? Like, were you nervous at all prior to the fight, or was it everyday business for you?
I mean, not really. I was a little nervous, but not too much because, at the time I had already had like about 5 or 7 fights without headgear already. I mean, as far as like boxing matches. So, the only thing we knew was, it was just an extra round, and then I just have a shirt off. So I was pretty much good. I was pretty good. Like, plus I looked at his record, and his record wasn't impressive. He had no amateur background, so it was just something my management did just to get my feet wet. But I kind of felt like it was kind of like a waste of time a little bit because, it was just extremely too easy. I thought so.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, like, it seemed like you handled your business. It was the first round knockout, and then you've been nothing but a house on fire for your last 10 fights too, which leads to my next question. So everybody in boxing, of course, like I would say like Floyd kind of ruined it for the professional boxers, like everyone's so protective of their O. So is
All
there
right.
any pressure when you fight, or do you just go out there and have fun and just work on things and try to become a world champion at a cruiserweight?
Shit, a little bit of both, for real. A little bit of both. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely a lot of pressure for the guys when they keep their O because and a lot of people like once you lose once or twice, they pretty much write you off, and then now at that point you're pretty much just being an opponent or a stepping stone for somebody else. And professional boxing is basically like it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and it's not like the amateur. Where you just fight for fun and for trophies and stuff like that. Like you getting paid, and either way, you could also you can lose your life in the ring. Amateur or pro, but more so on the pro side because there's no headgear. It's like people do. It's longer rounds and stuff like that. So it's more at risk. So people definitely like, and I feel like the fighters definitely should deserve to get paid more. Because we're risking a lot, and so yeah, I understand why people. I definitely it's a little pressure. Like, I don't want to lose my O, like for sure, but I'm definitely going out like to be a world champion. So whatever bumps and bruises and learn a lesson I got to go through. Whether a loss to whatever, whatever happens, like as long as I'm a champion at the end of the day, and I got money put up for my kids, I got 5 kids. Got 4 girls and a boy. So as long as I make sure my family's straight, man, when it's all said and done, like I'll die a happy man. So I'm good with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you're like literally on your way. You are 11-0 power puncher. You're ranked number 7th out of all the American fighters in cruiserweight. So you're gonna be bound to get a shot soon, whether it's a higher ranked guy or even like a title shot soon, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So out of your 11 pro fights, what would you say was your favorite one so far?
Favorite fight. Probably my first. Yeah, probably was my first fight that I had in my first professional fight in my hometown in Trenton. And I got like a 3rd round TKO. Yeah. It was that one. I mean, because I had a lot of people there, and it was on my birthday, so it was on my 30th birthday. I had a lot of family, friends, loved ones there. My lady had threw me. She had threw me a surprise party the day after, so it was real cool, man. It was I mean, it was love. It was love. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That was my favorite fight. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like nothing like fighting like home. So I worked for the Trenton Thunder from 2017 to 2018. So like I'm like familiar with the area and all. I've actually never been to the arena. Actually, it's kind of shitty what the Trenton Titans owner did. How like he just took everyone's season ticket holder money for like the following season and just rolled out. It was the craziest story ever.
Yeah.
That I ever heard. Yeah,
Ooh,
you ever hear about that? That was the craziest thing.
Nah.
Yeah, he was telling all the sales reps to keep selling and selling and selling,
Yeah.
and then he just rolled out knowing that they didn't have the money to go in the next year and stuff, and there was a shit ton of lawsuits and stuff. It was crazy.
That's what he get, man. That's grimy. That was some bullshit.
That's grimy, ain't it? It's the craziest story I've ever heard in my whole entire life. Yeah, it was on the news and stuff. It was crazy. But anyway, yeah. So like, I've never been to that arena. I've always missed fights because I've always had something crazy come up. But yeah, so you had 3 fights there. Like, would you want to fight more? Like, I'm not sure if there's like a Jersey promoter like there is here. Like we have Russell Peltz, we have Joe Hand, we have Michelle Rosado. We also have Rodney Rice, RDR Promotions. Is there like a guy in Jersey that's like able to do those shows in Trenton at all?
I don't know. I mean, I was with this guy named Bill. What's Bill's last name? I forgot to pronounce it. But this guy Bill, I met through Renee Akins, who was Zab Judas. I met through him. Matter of fact, he actually used to work with Zab. So I was working with Bill, and it's called Silver Bowl Promotions. And my last fight was through them, and then I was gonna have my next fight through them, April 3rd. of 2020, but then that's when the pandemic came,
Hmm.
so everything got canceled. So I don't know. I haven't really talked to him in a while. He hit me up to congratulations about my win. But I don't know. From what they were saying, they definitely were going to try to do a couple more shows at the arena or like down in Atlantic City. So I definitely was going to try to run it up as far as like working with those guys. But aside of that, I ain't really talked to too many promoters as far as like doing these shows over here in Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I feel like the top guys for you out of Trenton, of course, is yourself, and then also I absolutely love this kid. I've been watching him fight since his second pro fight, Scrap Bunch. So I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like the
He's
both of
sharp.
you
He's sharp.
on the same card would really bring the noise in Trenton. So that would be
Yeah,
awesome to
we
see.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, we did the last time. We had a nice we had a nice showing at the last card we had there. We had a nice showing. We both did. I think he got like a first round knockout. My fight went was a decision. But but we definitely we definitely brought a noise. We definitely had a nice crowd there.
Oh yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And plus I know Strap since he was I know him since he first came down here from New York. When
Yeah.
he first like come to the Goss and Goss. So so I've been watching him. I'm watching him progress a lot, man. That kid, man, he got the potential to be something special.
Yeah, like
For real.
that's why I'm so glad that he linked up with Coach Chino, because he's absolutely learning from one of the best trainers, and it's just keeping him busy and stuff. So yeah, I'm really liking it that he's linked up with Chino.
Yeah, I
Of
mean,
course.
teachers on. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Chino, yeah, yeah, teachers on. Chino, good people though. I met Chino when I was in the amateurs, and he worked a couple guys' corners when I was at the National Golden Gloves, like in 2012. Him and my coach, they have a good rapport too. Also,
Is that your dog, Nick? Jesus, what the hell's he doing?
yeah, man.
Jesus, what? Someone break in the house?
Right.
I have
Big.
my wife's friends are over and
Uh,
they're leaving. So every time somebody moves that he doesn't know, he
Oh, okay.
little protective.
Damn, I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. What is it? What is it? A King Corso or something?
It's a Saint Bernard
No. Okay.
Beethoven.
I work with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So let's talk about your fight. So this is actually, I'm sorry to say, this is my first time I ever watched you fight, and you look great. I mean, you're
Thanks.
you're very smart with your punches, and you're also disciplined. So like you don't waste any extra stuff. So like you look to counter too. So like I really like your style. But what were your
Thank
thoughts
you.
on that?
Thank you.
Because he actually came to fight, and he was trying to beat you. Like that was yours.
Yeah.
Yours was a scrappy fight against Twan Smith.
Yeah, definitely. I knew that already. I watched a couple of his fights on YouTube. A couple interviews and stuff like that. So, I already knew he was gonna be a tough opponent. I mean, one of his fights, I seen him. I honestly thought he won. Everybody else I know who watched the fight thought he won, but they gave it to the other guy. So I already knew. I knew off top that he was gonna be a tough, gritty opponent, and he was durable, and I knew he was coming to fight. So
Yeah.
I already knew what to expect. I think he dropped another undefeated fighter also too. Sam Cross,
Mm-hmm.
I think from like Maryland somewhere. So I always try to do research on people before I fight them. So I always make sure I'm like I try to be my A game. Make sure I got the best version of me to bring in the ring. So yeah, I like I said, we already knew, we already planned for it. So it was that's why I made sure I was in good shape. I made sure I stayed disciplined on the game plan.
All right. So I got two more questions for you, then I'm going to pass it on to Nick. So my first one is, obviously this whole pandemic sucked, where like it totally wiped out everyone's like boxing goals and how many fights they're trying to get. So
Right.
like, yeah, so you were finally back in the ring last Saturday. It was your first fight back since fighting in Trenton. So how many fights are you trying to get this year? Like, are you trying to do another 3 or 2 or 4?
Man, I'm trying. I know I'm trying to get as many as possible. I'm trying to get as many as possible. Man, I know I'm looking to fight on RDR again. I'm thinking, like you said, June.
Oh, June. Okay.
June.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to fight in June. I mean, as many cards as you're gonna have, man. As long as things keep going up, we can stay with the competition and the pay and everything is looking good. I'll definitely keep fighting on his cards as many times as possible. And I'm looking at realistically, I said at least 5 more fights a year.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Realistically.
All right.
A lot more.
All right. So my last question's a fun one. So what's your favorite food spot in Trenton? And then I'll let you know mine after you answer.
Oh man, my favorite food spot. I don't know. I got a couple. I just don't got one. I like to eat at Helper's Wealth downtown.
Okay.
On East State. I like the Smokehouse. I like the Smokehouse Bar and Grill. What's I like? I like Tracy's Kitchen. And those probably like my top 3 right there.
Okay. Yeah,
Those are my
the
top 3.
Smokehouse was good when we tried it after a game. So mine is People's Deli. So good. Right, it's like I forget which street it's on. I think it might be a little bit off of like Hamilton or like a couple blocks off of Hamilton. It's like so tough to explain because I haven't been around Trenton in a while. But it's called People's Deli, and they make these like massive like hoagies and stuff. It's like a little Italian bakery, and like it's like literally like it's like deep in the housing.
Oh, I know you're talking about Italian. You're talking about Italian People Bakery.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, nah, they pretty good too.
I made the one mistake, so they only have like 2 sizes. A medium's like a regular size, and then a large, you're like walking out with like a 2-foot sandwich. So I was like, you know what?
Yep.
I'm a bigger guy, so I think I'm gonna take the large. I literally walked out with like a freaking football. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was crazy. All right, Nick, it's all you.
I think I'm kind of close to Trenton. Every time I get off, we just moved up here last year. We're in Levittown, so like right near Montgomeryville. Close, right? Because I always see signs on the boulevard for Trenton and stuff. So obviously, I was doing a little research on you. Can you say, I don't want to get like too personal or anything, but can you say that boxing saved your life?
Oh hell yeah, definitely that in church. Yeah,
okay.
I mean the church started it, but then boxing helped kept everything going because even though I stopped going to church like how I was, boxing helped keep the discipline, helped keep everything else in line. Like, plus I always kind of been like violence was always kind of my thing, but now it's just the control violence. So even since I was a kid, like I had an older cousin who used to come by the house. He was a grown man, and he used to say he come to give me and my cousin come to give us some work, and he's from the South, from Alabama, so he used to come fight us like every weekend he'd come over there and like slam us, punch us, kick. We used to have to get up and try to fight him, and like that stuff just made us rough and tough. So like that just it just always come to be my thing. So from that, the football and stuff like that, wrestling in high school. So like the contact sports always been my thing, and I wasn't able to start boxing until I was older because my aunt never would let me do it when I was a teenager. I wanted to, so it wasn't until I was I was already a man by the time I started boxing. But yeah, it definitely saved my life, man. As far as like help keep me out of that street violence, a lot of stuff that I was in with the gangs and selling drugs and all that, man. So boxing, yeah, definitely helped save my life.
Yeah, I did a little. Obviously, I was doing research and everything, so I knew what I was going to talk about here. What do you think it was where you were from that got you into that lifestyle before you got into like sports and things like that?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it was like like even like we was kids, cause like like even before I started like playing like basketball and football, and like elementary, middle school, like we just still, we just have our little street gangs, our little street cliques, so it was like, the street I lived on was Clag Avenue. And, we had the kids around the corner who used to fight with, and their family was clicked up, man. And the ones by the store, by the park, and it was just like, it's just how it was, it was just how it was like growing up, like, so it was just like, it just stayed into a steady thing. So it went from that to, all of us being together in the neighborhood, that, it's going against other neighborhoods, and then other gangs, and then, that's when the blood thing came in heavy around in the 2000s. So, yeah. So it's definitely, it was just always around. So, it was just easy to get into.
It's crazy. It's like, and you're absolutely right. And so many like fighters grew up like. So, for instance, I always talk about Eddie Alvarez, the UFC fighter, Bellator fighter, now one championship fighter. How he grew up in Kensington, and he said all he knew all of his life was fighting. That's all he knew. Right. That's the only thing he was good at. And he says like when he finally was able to get out, he felt and be successful. He thought it was in his best interest to go back into there and try to do stuff good for the community. So how did you? I saw one. I guess it was an article that you went in actually on some charges, and the judge said, "I see you're going to church. I see you're doing stuff in your community." Did she like pass it or like put it back to see how you would do, or if you can get into that story a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So what she did was, because it was crazy because people from the church was like, I was like, man, I was getting some serious charges because I had already had like a possession of drugs before that, and all I did was go to the county. I never made it down to state prison. So, and the second charges I had, it was, possession of law possession of a weapon, assaulting officers because me and the cops got into it when I was, running with the gun. So, I was fighting the cops and all that. And so I'm like, man, I was doing some serious stuff, and people from the church like, nah, man, like, you change your life, God gonna bless you. You don't go to jail. Like, man, you sure? I'm like, man, everybody, people I'm talking to, lawyers and different people who've been through the system, like, yo, oh, now you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Like, anywhere around, you're going to jail, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't, and unless you turn state witness, you snitch, you tell, but which I didn't do because I'm not on nobody's paperwork and nothing like that. Plus, I ain't have no co-defendants anyway. So she pushed it. I copped out to probation with a 364. So what that was, I had to go do 364 days in the county, and then I was on probation. So she said, yeah, the judge said that, being that everything I had going on, and she said she's gonna push my prison sentence, my jail sentence back at the end, if I would have got in trouble or if I stopped doing what I was doing, then I would have went back to jail. So I did the whole 5 years without getting in any trouble. Still ain't been in no trouble ever since. Ever since then, I still haven't been in any trouble with the law or nothing like that. So she pushed it back, and then that 5 years is up. I didn't get in trouble, so she suspended the jail term. So I was good.
That's amazing, man. Like I love getting into like these conversations too, because people always think like these athletes, like you're 11-0, like you have the whole world ahead of you right now as far as your boxing career. And at the end of the day, all professional athletes are human beings, and you see athletes mess up all the time, like just get into some stuff, but you believe, like somebody believed in you that said, because she could have just been like, nope, going to jail, doing your thing, doing your time, and that's it. But she, because of her, or because whatever, because of you, obviously, you turned your life a whole 360, a whole 180. I don't even know what you say in a situation like that, but you turn your life completely around. So are you still involved big into the community in Trenton?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of, like, there hasn't been too much going on, because of the COVID and stuff like that. But as far as like, I get the kids from the gym, like even today I took the kids from the gym. Got a couple fighters, took them to the track, took them running, put them through drills. I just give back. I give back as much as I can, whether it be, through through time, or just talking to the kids, just dropping a lot of jewels on them and stuff, and just using my life as an example for them. Like, yo, this, like, even if you do get in trouble, like, it's not over, but you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to go the route that I went, because it's gonna be a lot of heartaches, a lot of bumps and bruises and headaches that you have to go through. So, I just try to use that as an example, man. And I talk to the youth all the time. It hasn't been in settings like, because of schools and a lot of things have been shut down. So, that's why I really can't wait this COVID thing to be back over, man, because that's one of my passions. I really like get, I really get like joy, and I really get like I get a good feeling from doing that. So it's like, even though, sometimes I do it, I don't even get paid. I don't look to get paid, because, as long as I'm helping some kids out, man, it's where, because we didn't get a lot of people to come back into the city. A lot of people who did make it and stuff like that, they didn't really come back and give, and to come give advice, and and do certain things with the kids in the community. Like, they didn't really do it too tough. So I'm trying to break that mold, and I'm trying to break that that generational curse within my city. Like, I'm just trying to change it. So
yeah, even if you can change one kid's output on life, or like thought on life, where just because you got in trouble once or twice, that ain't the end. You can still do whatever you want, put your heart to. And I love seeing a story like yours, because
thank you.
You should honestly, like, you could be a speaker at a school, like at any high school or grade school in Trenton. Just tell your story and how real it was, and how real it got for you, and how you just, you got a second chance and you were able to make the most of it. And it's like inspiring. So it was really interesting to read about that. So in 2021, I know you said you want to fight as many times as possible. I definitely want to come out and check you out, because I was not able to make the fight. Was it last Saturday, right?
Yep.
And so I wasn't able to make the fight. But as soon as one becomes available, I'm definitely going to do my best to get there. My work schedule sucks, though.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So besides boxing, what are your interests and things like that, like TV or anything like that?
Oh yeah, well, I do I do personal training, fitness training. I started a trucking business called From Here to There. I started that last year. With box trucks and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to get into different things like that. I like reading. Like reading books, listening to different books. What's like doing? TV. Besides boxing, Game of Thrones. Well, Game of Thrones let me down last season. So man. Oh yeah, I like Vikings. I like Vikings too.
Okay.
Yeah. So TV. I don't really do the TV thing too much. Like, unless it's like boxing and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you watch any MMA?
MMA, yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, definitely, yeah, I do, yeah. I'm getting into the Bellator thing now, because my guy Corey Anderson, he's fighting with Bellator now.
Yep.
So yeah, he moved here from Chicago some years back, and me and him have boxed, we've been tight ever since. So
oh wow, okay.
Get ready for fights. I'm gonna get ready for his fights. Yeah.
So you're
actually, I think he's fighting. I think next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, the Corey fighting next weekend. So
it's on the Ryan Bader versus Lyoto Machida card, I think. Or it could be the next one. I forget. But they do it pretty cool.
I think it's that card.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they do it pretty cool over there. They do like a Grand Prix type of thing, like tournament style, which is cool. Yeah, man, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like that. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I wish boxing would take, but it's just so much corruption, so much BS in politics, man. Because if it was one champion for each weight class, instead of having all these different like it's so much game, because it's like you gotta, like, let's just say you fight for the IBF, you gotta pay the IBF for the sanctioning fees. Every time you defend the title, they take a certain amount of money out your purse. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, like some of them, like the IBF have a weight clause, and all the weight classes except for I think like super heavyweight. I remember not super heavyweight, where you can only weigh in like an extra, I think 10 pounds from what you weighed the night before. So it's like, and then
Oh,
some
wow.
some other and then some adults don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just be a lot of tricky stuff, man. And you got to pay all the sanctioning fees, and then they got super champions and regular champions, and you know what I'm saying it's like it's just a whole bunch of stuff. It's just a whole bunch of ways to help certain fighters be able to move around in politics to where they can. You have to fight certain fighters like Canelo, like they made him a franchise champion, so he didn't have to fight Jamel Charlo, or he don't got to fight Demetrius Andre, and then now, David Benavidez is calling him out at 68, and now, I don't want to fight any Mexican fighters, bro. But you just fought Chavez Jr. like a few years ago. Now you don't fight nobody from Mexico because it's a good chance this guy could beat you.
Right.
That's why you don't want to fight him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like I don't respect that, man. It's like, I feel like if you're gonna be one way, you can be that way with everybody. Because like where I'm from, and like you can't. It's hard. It's hard to hide and duck right. Like it's like you got to be that way with everybody. Because once people start to see like, oh yeah, you pick and you choose, and like that with everybody, that's when they're gonna start testing you, and they're gonna start exposing you.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing is, you can do that. You can be a talented coward. You know what I'm saying? Like you got skill, you can fight, but you don't got the real heart of a champion to go on there against the best of the best and lay it on the line against them. That's when these guys calling you out and they want to fight you, and you ducking them, and you mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. Like, honestly, a perfect example. I mean, I do give the kid credit because he got put right on his ass by Luke Campbell, but he got up and went up knocking him out. Ryan Garcia talked all this shit all these years, saying he's got the fastest hands, this and that. But I mean, Luke Campbell's good, but he's not the same level as like Lomachenko and all. That's why Lomachenko handled Luke so well. But like, they actually hyped me up down there at 140 because I thought all them kids were going to start the Rumble. But again, it's all about the L. Because like I had truly thought that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney made more sense to happen first because Tank's going to want a shit ton of money first in order for that to happen. But that's why I thought Haney and Ryan Garcia made sense first before everyone started rumbling each other. But now who the hell knows what's going to happen? Now it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I think also, and I understand. And it's like, I forget if I was saying this too the other day. Yeah, at the barbershop the day before the fight. And I was, a couple of guys were asking me about what do I think about that, and I was like, as a fan, I want them guys to fight. I want them to fight as soon as possible. But as a fighter and as a businessman, I understand why they want to beat, because some people get different money, like on the back ends, as far as like with the gates, with the ticket sales and stuff like that. They get they get more money. So it's like, you might got a promotional contract set up for a flat fee of $2 million, but then let's say you get let's say like $2 million or whatever it is. But then if you do a live gate, and then they get like 50% of the ticket sales, that's like a whole nother $1 million, 100,000. I mean, depending on where they sold the tickets. So it's like, I don't blame them. Like, yo, like why would I only make $2 million when I can make $2.5, $3 million, $4 million? You know what I mean? Where I can make that much more money off the back end. So, and you're risking you're risking your life. It's a hard, tough fight. You got to think about all the things you got to go through the spawn, through the running, through the training.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people understand, like it's a lot of sacrifice you make for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that top level, like it's a whole lot of sacrifice you got to make. I mean, through family, friends, loved ones that you really can't be around. You got to go away for camp, or it's just like you got to deal with a lot of stress that you got to deal with. You feel me? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, especially with
as far as
especially with COVID now, like you can't be around all these people anymore, things like that.
Yeah, for real. So it's like, and then you got folks dying. Like, I mean, I done lost like a couple folks, behind it, and then some of them you can't even go to their funerals. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a lot. It is a lot, man. So I kind of don't blame them guys for not really wanting to take those tough ass fights, and then they're not gonna really get their money's worth as far as like what they should be getting paid. So, like, I understand both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Man, but I will love to see them fights though.
For sure.
Like, I wanna see them rumbles. I wanna see them. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Of course.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. We really appreciate it. Best of luck in 2021. Hopefully, we can get back out there and see you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all, man. For real, man. I really appreciate you guys for having me on. Seriously.
All right.
Yeah, Mike. So, thank you again.
Yeah.
I mean, you were so cool after the fight, and then also you signed a picture for me, so that was really awesome.
No problem.
Of course, yeah. Thank you again, and we'll definitely come to the next fight.
All right, Joe, Nick, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
All right,
Mike. Thank you. We'll see you.
All right, peace. All right.
All right.